Watch this. A finger presses a white piano key. It cracks. That key just cracked. A hairline split right along the grain, like a fingernail splitting. That's not plastic underneath. That's ivory. That key was a tusk. Every piano on Earth has the same pattern. Black key, white key, black key, white key. Nobody picked that for beauty. Hunters, traders, and one exploding billiard ball built it. Stick around, because by the end, you'll know exactly why that key cracked. By the 1800s, hunters were slaughtering elephants just to build pianos. In the year 1800, roughly 26 million elephants roamed Africa. Today, fewer than 1 million. Over a century of the ivory trade, hunters killed elephants by the hundreds of thousands, a body count nobody counted. Here's how the chain worked. Hunters in Africa and Asia killed the elephants. Traders shipped straight to Europe. Craftsmen sliced the tusks into paper-thin sheets, and those sheets got glued onto plain wooden keys. So what about the black keys? Ebony, a dense, almost black wood from tropical forests. And here's the twist. The pattern used to run backwards. Early keyboards flipped it completely. Black keys were the natural notes. White keys were the sharps. Why switch? Money. Ivory was rare and expensive, so makers put it on the wide keys you touch the most. It said, "Look how much I can afford." Wood got hidden in the black keys, saving cash while the expensive stuff stayed up front. Some makers kept the old layout for decades. It depended on the country, the century, and whichever material cost more that year. Remember that crack from the opening? Hold on to it. Ivory wasn't the only thing running out. Ebony trees take 100 years to grow thick enough to cut. Loggers didn't take one tree. They cleared whole sections of forest just for a fingerboard. And with the elephants, the human cost kept climbing too. Hunters risked their lives for tusks that made other men rich. Traders built fortunes on forced labor. People were beaten and worked to move ivory they never saw a cent of. In the US, entire towns processed nothing else. One town in Connecticut got a nickname for it. The town was named Ivoryton. Here's the part almost nobody knows. Ivory dust doesn't stay outside your body. Factory workers cut tusks all day in rooms thick with fine bone dust, breathing it every single shift. That dust scarred their lungs over years. A slow industrial disease with no name people remember. Dust clogging their lungs. Picture 8-hour shifts in that haze, and nobody warned them. By the late 1800s, elephant populations were collapsing across entire continents. Ivory prices spiked. Piano makers panicked. They needed a replacement, fast. The man who found one wasn't even thinking about pianos. His name was John Wesley Hyatt. In 1863, a New York billiards company offered $10,000 to anyone who could replace ivory billiard balls. Chasing that money, Hyatt invented celluloid, the first synthetic plastic ever made. It wasn't stable. It could catch fire out of nowhere. Billiard balls made from it sometimes cracked apart mid-game, with a bang. But for piano keys, celluloid was close enough. It looked like ivory, felt smooth under fingers, and didn't require killing anything. Piano makers switched over through the early 1900s, slowly. Some factories kept carving real ivory decades after this started. Modern pianos use plastic now, sometimes engineered to feel exactly like the old material, right down to the texture under your thumb. Nobody had to kill an elephant. Nobody had to clear a forest for wood. The material changed completely. The pattern never changed. So why does a plastic key still look like ivory? Tradition, partly, but also function. The contrast helps your fingers find their place in the dark. which is exactly why real ivory still cracks in old pianos today, splitting with age, long after the elephant is long gone. Next time you touch a piano, remember what's actually under your fingers. Not ivory anymore, the ghost of it. Blood, forests, and one lucky accident with a billiard ball built the instrument you know. Something to think about before you press another key. If stories like this pull you in, subscribe to The Smart Side for more hidden histories behind the everyday things around you.